Good morning. My name is Lisa Lindsay. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve gratefully as president on the Board of Trustees. As we begin our time together, we would like to acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue campus here in California's Central Valley sits on the traditional homelands of the Yokuts people, the original and continued caretakers of this land. Whether we are in the physical sanctuary, whether we are comfortable at home, or joining later at a time of our choosing, please know that we are all welcome. We are welcome no matter our primary or secondary language. We are welcome no matter our race or culture of origin. We are people of different ages, spiritual backgrounds, and religious beliefs. Some of us are lesbian, gay, bi, trans, non-binary, queer, or intersex. All are welcome. Some of us are neurodiverse. Many of us have disabilities. We have different levels of formal education and income. Bienvenido. All are welcome with or without documentation. Con papeles o sin papeles. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. As Unitarian Universalists, we declare the inherent worthiness and dignity of every person. We believe an authentic spiritual life begins with a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. And of course, we hold love at the center. If you are on our online church campus, your joy, sorrow, or gratitude can be included in today's service. Text the details to 559-239-6543. Also, for those of you on our online campus, please use that same number if you would like to express interest in becoming a formal member of this church. For some, being an online member is a perfect fit. When you text Cecily Callahan, our coordinator of community life, will be in touch promptly. Our minister, the Reverend Tim Kutzmark, is away this Sunday, so leading today's service is Jamie Jones, a member of our worship arts team. And now, either on the Alluvial Avenue campus, online, or in your own heart, let's pause to say buenos dias to one another.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Jones, and my pronouns are she, her. I serve gratefully as a member of the worship arts team. It is my honor to serve today as your worship leader as we explore the art of resistance, literature, and film in challenging times. Our minister, Reverend Tim, is out of town this weekend, but he will be back in the pulpit next Sunday to lead the service. We are excited this morning. Our guest speakers are two longtime and beloved church members and leaders. Ruth Jenkins, a professor emerita of English and Fresno State, and John Moses, retired professor of film and English at Fresno City College. We'll hear more about them later in the service. Now, Let's allow the sound of the tingsha to lead us gently into that quiet space within.
One, two, three, four. I was dreaming, in my dreaming, of an aspect bright and fair, and my sleeping, it was broken, but my dream, it lingered near, in the form of shining valleys, where the pure air recognized, and my senses newly opened, I awakened to the cry that the people have the power to redeem the work of fools upon the meek. The grace is shower, it's decreed, the people rule. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Where there were deserts, I saw fountains like cream. The waters rise, and we strolled there together, with none to laugh or criticize. And the leopard and the lamb lay together, truly bound. I was hoping, in my hoping, to recall what I had found. I was dreaming, in my dreaming, God knows, a pure view, as I lay down to my sleeping. I commit my dream to you. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power to dream, to rule, to wrestle the world from fools. It's decreed, the people rule. It's decreed, the people rule. Listen, I believe everything we dream can come to pass through our union. We can turn the world around. We can turn the earth's revolution. Have the power. People have the power. People have the power. The people have the power to dream, to rule, to wrestle the world from fools. It's decreed, the people rule. It's decreed, the people rule. People have the power. The people have the power.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Rachel Andres, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am the Director of Lifelong Learning here at UUCF. Our chalice lightning words are by the Rev. Michelle Collins and are entitled Sacred Descent. They are perfect words for our last Sunday service in January, because our worship theme this month is practicing resistance. Welcome all those who are restless in a world renewed. We come carried by ancestors who refused the silence of despair and dared to sing a new song. Their courage whispers through us still. Today, we resist by showing up together, We resist by keeping faith with what is not yet. Our gathering is in itself an act of sacred descent, calling us to rise and unite as co-creators of a freer tomorrow. In that spirit, please light your chalice or candle at home, and Ida Jones will light it here in our Alluvial Ave campus. Let us rise now in body or spirit and join in singing the song of praise, Let Justice Roll Down.
1, 2, 3, 4. There is no freedom, the wise one said, let justice roll down, roll down. When the poor cry out for shelter and bread, let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in the dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Hatred will never drive out hate. Let love roll down, roll down. Remember, our hearts can make us great. Let love roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in the dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Step by step and one by one, let justice roll down, roll down. They can hurt the prophets, but the dream lives on. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in the dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream.
Will you join me in our mission statement? La misión de la Iglesia Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. We invite all the kids to gather at the back of the church with our Children's Sunday program team. Just head up the aisles to the inner sanctuary doors, and let's all bless our children out with song as they depart.
1, 2, 3. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart beat peace as you go. To nurture the spark of precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart
As we settle into a more quiet and still space, let us connect to our breath. As we breathe in peace. And as we breathe out love. We breathe in peace. And we breathe out love. One last time together. We breathe in peace. And we breathe out love. Resting in this place of centeredness, I invite us to reflect on two gentle questions. In the last week, where did you see, hear, or experience hope? And in the last week, did you offer someone kindness or compassion? As we entered the Alluvial Ave sanctuary this morning, some of us wrote down a joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude on the small cards at the table by the door. Those of us on our online campus were invited to share their joys and sorrows as well. Here is some of what has been shared. An anonymous member is sending love to Margaret from Tennessee and is grateful to be warm, dry, and despite all the huge snow and ice storms that is coming through this area of the country. And that was from Margaret. Lisa has a gratitude. She's feeling grateful that her brother Kevin is safe and thinking of all the unhoused during this epic storm. And we have Sue and Steve H., our neighbors being kicked out of her rental so they can sell. If anyone knows or wants to buy an investment near Fig Garden, she'd really, really like to stay in it. She's been there 17 years. And Deborah S. is sending warm thoughts to Margaret S. in Tennessee. We also remember our beloveds who are unable to be with us because of health or mobility. We remember Mike R., Dominic P., Glenda R., Myrna S., Pat M., and Robin C. As we collectively hold all that has been shared this morning and all that lies in the sacredness of our hearts, we remember the innocents who are in peril in all those places around the world that do not know peace, including Ukraine and South Sudan. We also remember the thousands of people in Iran as they face these difficult days of suppression and violence. For all that has been shared, for all that we hold in the silence of our hearts and mind, we light our candle of community. We light a second candle, our candle of compassion, resistance, and hope, as we acknowledge all that is under vicious attack from our federal government. Today, we would like to condemn the murder of Alex Jeffrey Preddy. He was shot by federal agents just yesterday in Minneapolis. As our candles burn, and we're gonna light our candle of compassion, resistance, and hope. As our candles burn, please join our verse voices in singing Call to Offering, How Could Anyone?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Our words of prayer or reflection are by Jude Geiger, adapted. Spirit of life, God of many names, source of hope, we come together at the end of another week, some worn down by struggles of health, of home, or work. May we be a community that makes space for the sharing of joys and sorrows, anger and hope, always doing so with grace. We pause on this Sunday morning as we come together in community to remember the many people who have taken to the streets to fight the many forms of oppression that surround us. Teach us to remember our history, never to repeat it in our lives today. May we develop new ways of relating to neighbor and stranger without violence or greed. Mother of grace, help us to find a sense of humility where we have privilege and strength where we face oppression. In our struggles, may we learn compassion, and in our power, may we learn temperance. As a community of faith, may we be a safe harbor in a world that is all too often harsh towards those that are different. Challenge us to use our presence as a healing force for justice and equity. Because the fight for civil rights is bleak and daunting, the work of building beloved community is as pressing as ever before. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
is a moment for shining on. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for shining on. The world needs our light more than ever. Now is a moment for singing out loud. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for singing out loud. The world needs our songs more than ever. Now is a moment to let fear go. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment to let fear go. The world needs our courage more than ever. They need us to shine. The world needs us to shine. Now is a moment for kindness. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for kindness. The world needs our warmth more than ever. Now is a moment for holding on. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for holding on. The world needs our strength more than ever. Now is a moment for sharing. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for sharing. The world needs our gifts more than ever. They need us to shine. The world needs us to shine. Now is a moment for dreaming. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for dreaming. The world needs our dreams more than ever. Now is a moment for speaking up. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for speaking up. The world needs our voice more than ever. They need us to shine. The world needs us to shine. Now is a moment for taking a breath. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for taking a breath. The world needs our peace more than ever. Now is a moment for dancing. It's alright to cry. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now is a moment for dancing. The world needs our joy more than ever. Now is a moment for
Our reading today is a poem by Faz Aman Faz, translated by Ivan M. Grander. It is entitled Speak. Speak, your words are free. Speak, your tongue is still your own. Your body is yours, strong and straight. Speak, your life is still your own. Look, in the forge's flames, how your steel glows red. See how the locked doors have opened and every chain breaks. Speak, the time left to you is enough. Before body and tongue give out, speak, for truth still survives. Speak, say what is in your heart. I invite us to rise in body or spirit and joining and singing our hymn.
1, 2, 3, 4. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a many-gendered people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a many-gendered people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Our guest speakers today are Ruth Jenkins and John Moses. Ruth and John have been married for 41 years. Yes. And they joined the church in 1995. Here they raised 2 daughters among us. Ruth is Professor Emeritus in English at Fresno State. She's the author of 2 scholarly books on Victorian literature and has served in a variety of positions at the church, including board president, as well as the current member on our leadership development. So always look forward to a call from Ruth. John was a professor in English and film studies at Fresno City College. He wrote regularly about the film industry and world cinema for Fresno Filmworks newsletter, and he's now retired and is an avid wildlife and landscape photographer.
Good morning. A few years ago, I was flying back from Chicago to Fresno, and I quickly realized that I was sitting next to a very chatty young man. Seeing my book, he asked what I was reading. I must have hesitated because when I replied, Demon Copperhead, he quickly reassured me that he also likes monsters. Rather than simply accept his generous endorsement of my reading choice, I defensively said, no, it's not that. In my head, I continued, this is Barbara Kingsolver's Pulitzer Prize-winning adaptation of Charles Dickens's David Copperfield. Unfazed, though, he went on chatting, and I felt badly, asking myself, why was I so defensive in the literal face of this kind young man? I suspect my reaction resulted from decades of being expected to justify literature as a profession, being told, unsolicited, that such a pursuit is at best frivolous. Nonetheless, I have spent my adult life teaching 19th century British literature, including novels like Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, and of course, David Copperfield. My students haven't escaped these dismissive responses either, frequent telling me that they really wanted to major in English, but they didn't know what to tell their parents. Asked this so regularly, my response became reflex. Tell them that, in fact, English is an eminently practical degree. You graduate with advanced reading and writing skills, abilities every profession needs and wants. Still, the refrain continued, focusing on literature is impractical, useless in today's world, and simply a waste of time. But the thing is, I don't just read, I think. I think about George Eliot's explanation that a novel offers the experience of a life not our own. And I would add the corollary, the opportunity for a reader to see themselves in a book. I think about how literature reveals layers of interconnected culture and experience, of world building that not only depicts the culture we have and endure, but also for the one for which we hope. Edward Said describes this interconnected layers as contrapuntal, a term he borrows from music. Dickens' novel, David Copperfield, for instance, is held up as the model coming-of-age novel for middle-class men, at least during the Victorian era. But if we read that novel contrapuntally, it also exposes an extensive underclass of abandoned orphans and abused women, a world where the less fortunate are preyed upon by the powerful and the transactional. Read this way, even a novel like David Copperfield, once celebrated for articulating and endorsing cultural norms, resists the status quo and exposes cruelty and negligence. I think about how writing one's own story is empowering, to recover a past, but also to be the one to determine its meaning. Julia Kristeva, a cultural theorist, trained linguist, and practicing psychotherapist, works with her adolescent patients to reclaim their lives by writing their story, processing what has been lived as well as imagining what could be. Stories invoke change, she argues, dissolve boundaries, and model love. This brings me back to Barbara Kingsolver. She recalls that until she won the Pulitzer Prize for Demon Copperhead, she felt snubbed by the literary establishment because she's rural, having grown up in Kentucky's Appalachia, a place considered backwards, stereotyped, ridiculed, and preyed upon by those in power. In her adaptation, Kingsolver sets Demon Copperhead in Lee County, Kentucky, just as the opioid crisis ensnares the region. She depicts Appalachia assaulted primarily by those who see it as a deep market to exploit, seducing those who suffer long-term pain from mining coal, those who return from combat marked by bodily loss, or those who learn too late how addictive their prescribed painkiller would be. Demon Copperhead recounts his life as a triracial, self-named Meludgeon with skin fair enough to appear white, eyes a very light green, and hair the color of copper wire. Father dead before he was born, his mother wrestling with addiction, but overdoses leaving him orphaned before 11. Demon Copperhead, however, is more than an adaptation of David Copperfield. Kingsolver's novel is also a response to J.D. Vance's 2016 memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, which recounts his family's poverty and addiction, as well as his ability to escape that legacy. Anyone is entitled to write a memoir, Kingsolver writes. That's his story. But for him to say that his story explains all of us, no, I resent that. It's very condescending. To suggest that we're in a boat that's sinking because we're lazy, unambitious, and uncreative. She adds, long before Vance became a Republican politician, the Appalachian people felt betrayed by him and Hillbilly Elegy. Rejecting such self-centered aggrandizement at the expense of one's community, Kingsolver tackles head-on the agonizing effects of the opioid crisis with love, insisting the crisis was done to them. Appalachia is treated like colonized space, first exploited and then blamed for its lack of resources or resourcefulness. Hillbilly Elegy, she laments, offers no analysis and no compassion, just dismissive judgment. In contrast, Demon Copperhead, like David Copperfield, is double-voiced, narrated by the adult demon, but fleshed out by the growing boy's perspective. Doing so, Kingsolver offers two first-person narrators with whom the reader can dissolve into through the eye of the narrator. Kingsolver continues to collapse the difference, break down boundaries between his life and ours, his story and our experiences. Demon explains, there's this thing that happens, let's say at a school where a bunch of guys are in the bathroom, at the urinal, laughing about some dork that made a fool of himself in gym. You're all basically nice guys, right? You know right from wrong, and would not in a million years be brutal to the poor guy's face. And then it happens. The dork was in the stalls. He comes out with this look. He heard everything. And then maybe you realize you're really not that nice of a guy. This is what I would say, if I could, to all the smart people of the world and their dumb hillbilly jokes. We're right here in the stalls. We can actually hear you. Later in the novel, Demon recalls, one thing I learned from Mr. Armstrong while striving heartily to remain uneducated is that a good story doesn't just copy life, it pushes back on it. It's why I draw what I draw, to push back on life. And Demon does. He reclaims and elevates the redneck label, an identity commandeered by those in power to denigrate his community by naming his comic strip Redneck, The Adventures of an Appalachian Superhero, and in doing so honors the 1921 red neckerchief-wearing miners who resisted mine owners, the private guards, and the imposed martial law. It is this kind of pushback that I have thought about during my 37 years indulgently reading and teaching as a professor at Fresno State. I no longer hesitate to defend the value of an English major, but remind my students how literature offers a way to practice resistance. As a result, now when students ask what to say to justify their major in English, I say, tell them you're going to save the world.
Good morning. During the 30 years that I taught courses in film history and theory, the movies that I would most often screen for my students fell into the category of counter-cinema, a term coined by Peter Wolin in the 1970s to describe the oppositional strategies employed by French New Wave director Jean-Luc Godard. Just as usefully, the term can be applied to many national film movements, not just more broadly to the French New Wave, but also to a succession of other new waves in Europe and Latin America, as well as the Hollywood Renaissance of the 1960s and 70s. What this diverse group of motion pictures had in common was an oppositional stance to prevailing cinematic language and the dominant ideologies of the times. Films like Godard's Weekend took a scathing view of French society in a style that viewers still find difficult and unsettling 60 years later. In Hollywood, Robert Altman, through a series of genre films, dismantled all the comforting myths about American individualism, wartime sacrifice, and capitalism. However, when I think of resistance through movie making in the 21st century, it's not French, US, or even Latin American filmmakers that first come to mind. Yes, filmmakers from those areas of the world still offer us powerful exposés of oppression, corruption, and racism. But for the kind of resistance that risks all, one's livelihood, freedom, and life itself, no filmmaker is more prominent today than Iranian director Jafar Panahi. Given the critical acclaim his 10th feature film, It Was Just an Accident, has been receiving outside Iran, and in the context of the disturbing events occurring this month in Iran, his voice and perspective are more important than ever. Not surprisingly, Just an Accident, like all his films since 1997, has been banned in his home country. The 65-year-old writer-director was first arrested in 2009 and again in 2010, charged with making anti-government films and inciting protests. After 3 months in prison, Panahi was sentenced to a 20-year ban from directing films, writing screenplays, giving interviews, and traveling outside Iran. Despite the consequences of violating those bans, he has made a series of films in secret, beginning in 2011 with This Is Not a Film, shot entirely in his own apartment, dramatizing his daily life and speaking on the phone and to visitors about his legal appeal and the film he had been preparing to make before the ban. Emboldened by the international acclaim for This Is Not a Film, he continued to make movies in secret. In a succession of feature films beginning with Closed Curtain in 2013, he created an on-screen version of himself that blurred the line between documentary and scripted film. In each, Panahi adhered to neorealist principles, casting non-professional actors, shooting on location, and employing long, unedited takes. But as he has done throughout his career, he married that realism with brilliant artifice, not just emphasizing the art of filmmaking through various meta-references, but also foregrounding the government restrictions that constrain the narrative itself. Thus, for Taxi Tehran from 2015, the central premise is that Panahi, prohibited from his vocation as filmmaker, has taken the job of taxi driver. A dashboard-mounted camera captures him and his passengers as he conveys them about Tehran. With few exceptions, Panahi remains in the cab, a protective private space that insulates him from the filmmaking van. The conversations he has with his passengers feel spontaneous, unscripted, seemingly in compliance with the ban against screenwriting. For the film's end credits, he names only himself to protect those who appear in the film. And in place of credits, he writes instead, "The Ministry of Islamic Guidance approves the credits of distributable films." Despite my heartfelt wish, this film has no credits. Though seeming to be random fares, the passengers have been meaningfully cast. Their order of appearance structured and the dialogue between them and Panahi carefully planned. One passenger is a vendor of DVDs banned in Iran. He immediately recognizes the famous director and says he must be making a movie because he has overheard another passenger use a line from one of Panahi's previous films. If on a first viewing we are taken in by the idea that the camera is merely capturing impromptu, digressive conversations, Panahi's last two passengers foreground his unmistakable central theme, the importance of art in times of oppression. After picking up his young niece from school, he is prompted to think of what makes a film distributable. She has a school assignment to make a short film and is struggling to process the inconsistencies of her teacher's directions to show what's real, but not real. Bad actions or behavior contrary to Shia beliefs would be, in her teacher's words, sordid realism. Oops. I have missed my last page. Yes. Actually.
Can you read it? I have it here.
Okay. You know, I had checked all my pages, and I was sure I had them here. That phrase, sordid realism, is echoed by the final passenger that Panahi picks up. She is the flower lady with an armful of roses on her way to offer counsel and support to imprisoned young woman on a hunger strike. Though unnamed in the film, the good-humored passenger is Nareen Sutade, a prominent human rights lawyer who had been in prison herself from 2010 to 2013, and after making this film would be rearrested in 2018 and again in 2023 for her human rights advocacy. Before exiting the taxi, she places one of her roses on the dashboard saying, "Here is a rose for the people of cinema, because the people of cinema can be relied upon." Then, laughing and pointing to the camera, she adds, "Don't think I don't know what you're up to." Just as Taxi Tehran looked back to Panahi's previous films through reflexive references, so too it anticipated the central concept for his newest work. In Taxi, there is a moment before meeting Sutade where he hears the voice of one of his prison interrogators on the street. Understandably unnerved, when he shares the experience with Sutade, she assures him it is common for released prisoners who, like Panahi, were blindfolded during interrogations. That brief exchange from Taxi Tehran is fleshed out just an accident in which the central character, Valid, recognizes noises that his torturer had made during his interrogations. Valid resolves to take revenge, but then hesitates without absolute proof that he is correct. The narrative follows his search for confirmation as he drives through the unnamed city, meeting with and drawing into his dilemma other dissidents who were imprisoned with him. The film is a revenge thriller, so I will give no spoilers today. Encourage you to see the film when it's available. But suffice it to say that the movie, shaped by Panahi's own 7-month imprisonment in 2022, represents his most direct critique of the Iranian regime's oppressive actions. Jafar Panahi has repeatedly said that he is not a political artist. Yet each of his films over the past 25 years has been an undaunted act of political resistance. His art, he insists, must reflect the life he sees around him, and that attention to the real brings him into conflict with a regime that oppresses, imprisons, and kills its citizens. For the past 2 months, he has been in the U.S. for the series of award ceremonies in which just an accident has been in contention. When awards season is over, he plans to return to his homeland, though even before the most recent waves of mass killings and repression, he was convicted yet again for propaganda activities, this time in absentia, and on his return faces a new prison term. During America's own nightmare of federal thugs parading city streets, Jafar Panahi offers inspiration not just to filmmakers, but to us all, as an unwavering model in the art of resistance. Thank you.
In this song, Allison's going to sing us a line, and as you feel comfortable, you can sing back. It's gone on far too long. And if you could help us with clapping too, that'd be awesome.
Whoa, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Whoa, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting my sisters, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my sisters, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's poisoning our waters, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's poisoning our waters, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Whoa, somebody's ignoring the homeless, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's ignoring the homeless, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting my siblings, and it's gone on
Far too long.
Yes, it's gone on
Far too long.
I'm telling you, it's gone on
Far too long.
Oh, somebody's hurting my neighbors, and it's gone on
Far too long.
and we won't be silent anymore.
We gather here in this sanctuary or online with our community, seeking knowledge of life's greatest mysteries, to find peace and solace in a world where so many of us feel unsafe or forgotten. We gather together as a community with a deep connection with each other and with those beyond these walls. May we truly feel the power of love, which is at the center of our Unitarian Universalist faith. As UUs, we work for justice. We struggle for truth within ourselves, and we fight for the dignity of all humanity. For me, this church has nourished my soul, and brought so much joy and peace to my life. And that is why I give back in the ways that I can. As we approach the time for our offering, please give what you are able for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that meant so much to those who came before you, and the church that will mean so much to people you will never know. In a moment, a slide will appear with quick and easy ways to give electronically, including Cash App. We also pass the baskets in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary. But first, please join in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? Si no con corazones abiertos, entonces ¿qué? Si no es ahora, entonces ¿cuándo? Si no es aquí, entonces ¿dónde? Si nos damos generosamente, entonces ¿cómo? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? If this is your first or second time, please let the baskets pass you by. Your gift is being here today. The morning offering will be gratefully received. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of our gifts. Again, thank you for attending service today. I want to thank Ruth and John for your readings. They're amazing. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to serve as your worship leader. I'm very grateful for that. And I believe Ida's going to extinguish our chalice. And will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words? Extinguimos esta llama para no la luz de la verdad, el color de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso, estos los llevamos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts. Okay, we have a few reminders. We're gonna go ahead and invite Cecily up here. And Cecily Callahan is our coordinator of community life. Cecily is the staff member who is here to help new and newish folks get connected, so she can answer any questions and help orient you to this church. We invite everyone to stay for coffee hour and conversations. I don't know why we never mentioned this, but we also have snacks, so come eat. We may need your help. I'm not sure if coffee hour it's gonna be in here, so if anyone is willing or able to help move some tables, we would really appreciate that. On one of the tables we set up, we have a sign on it and it's saying visitors. A member from our board of trustees will be there as a warm and friendly face to answer questions. So grab a cup of coffee and a snack and come on by. Our moms group, parents group is meeting together after the service as well, and you are warmly invited to join them. They'll be meeting outside at the courtyard at the picnic tables, but I imagine that they may relocate back inside because of the chill. And our Alluvial Avenue online auction is also less than a month away. Here's Emily from our online campus with more information for us.
Hello, friends. We are here to remind you about our upcoming church auction with a little help from my friends. This is such an important event. It's the biggest fundraiser for our church for the year, and so it is so important that you participate and enjoy all the good things coming your way. The auction is scheduled February 15th to 22nd. It's all online. The website is uucfauction2026.fundraiser.bid. We are only 3 weeks away and we need your help. We need donations. We're running a little low on donations. And so please, please, please think about something that you could offer. Either something physical like a gift card or something fun like a party or a service. So maybe you're really good at computer and you can offer 30 minutes of computer help, or maybe you love a certain movie and you're offering a movie night with popcorn at your house. Whether it's big or small, anything helps. So please think about something that you could donate. If you have anything that you'd like to donate, email auction@uufresno.org or talk to Steve, Shelley, or Valerie. We do have some really exciting things to look forward to that have been donated. There's a ceramics and pizza party, a massage and facial service, and also an original watercolor by Edie Jessup, our beloved former minister's wife. So get excited about the auction. Please plan to log in and participate and bid on things, and also think about what you could donate. We are begging you to help us. We are looking forward to seeing you online February 15th through 22nd. Thanks.
As we prepare to end our service, we have a tradition here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. We'd like to acknowledge those who are with us for the first, second, or even third time. We're happy and honored that you are here to spend time with us today. So I want to invite those who are newish, 1, 2, maybe 3 times, to please stand, and we won't leave you there alone for too long. Do we have any newish people? Oh, yes, welcome. Thank you. Okay, all of us can join them. And now let's join them. Because it's flu and COVID season, we won't be joining hands, so instead, please place your hands over your heart for chalice words and sung benediction. Our chalice words come from Jamie Jones. Leave here in love and move in peace and love as you go out there for this week and love everybody that you can, because love is at the center of our faith. And I know there's a lot of love here, so thank you.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
May we have safe passage, safe passage. May we have safe passage on our way, safe passage on our way. Wander, safe passage on your way, searcher.
Assalamu alaikum.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum.